Here Where the Sunbeams Are Green, Chapter 3, Part 2. Starting on page 40. Let's get in focus. Sorry. Okay, so this is where Rue had her hands together with her sister and her mom, and in her skip, I can read her only thought. Dad, Skip, Dad, Skip, Dad. A tall man in white pajamas opens the golden doors for us. He starts to bow low, then recognizing Ken/Neth, he straightens up. Ken/Neth makes a peace sign with his fingers, but the man doesn't do the sign back to him. This doesn't seem to bother Ken/Neth, because he just looks at us with his goofy grin and gestures us inside as if it's his own house or something. We step into a white marble lobby with an enormous golden block in the middle. It takes me a second to realize that the golden block it's actually the front desk. Behind the golden block stands the most beautiful woman in the world, aside from Vivi, of course. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm sorry to say it, but Mom looks a little bit old, tired, and shabby compared to this woman. Even Mom's pretty tulip dress somehow seems silly now. The woman behind the front desk has green eyes and bronze skin. Her skin looks as smooth as metal, as smooth as a mirror, as smooth as I don't know what. She's very tall, and she's wearing a red business suit, and she's tapping on the golden desk with her fingernails that are long and sharp and silver. So long and sharp and silver that they make me think of miniature knives. Hey, Pat, Ken/Neth says. His tone seems far too casual for speaking to a person like her in a lobby like this. She must agree with me because as she comes out from behind the desk, she responds very formally. Buenas tardes, Senor Candy. Her voice is perfect, like an extension of her face. Also, her voice reminds me of something, but I can't think of what. Buenas tardes, he says. Girls, go ahead and say hello to Senora Pat Chevalier, otherwise known as the manager of this fine spa. Why does he always have to talk to us that way, as though he's our dad? Senorita Patricia Chevalier, the woman corrects with a cool smile. Oh, my bad, sorry, says Ken/Neth, which actually makes me feel the tiniest bit sorry for him. He can't help it that he's always saying the exact wrong thing. Then Senorita Patricia Chevalier turns a very warm smile on me and Rue. Hola, Rue says, grinning her most dazzling grin. She loves beautiful things. Hola, I say. So you must be Madeline and Ruby, Patricia Chevalier says to us in that over-friendly way some women talk to kids. To be honest, I don't like it much, even though she is basically the most beautiful woman ever. Well, I'm Rue says, and she's mad. Rue loves grown-up women who are nice to her. But you can call us Ruby and Madeline, I say quickly. Well, Ruby and Madeline, Patricia Chevalier pauses for a fraction of a second, as though she can't think of another word to say to us. What splendid names, she murmurs. I notice that her English is slightly accented. She turns to Mom. And you must be Mrs. Wade? I can't believe it, but Mom is blushing. I worry that she's feeling shabby. Actually, Mom says, I'm Sylvia Flynn. I kept my maiden name. Very nice to meet you, Patricia. We're so looking forward to the gala. Thanks so much for the invitation. I hear you will also be joining us for relaxation and rejuvenation this week, Patricia Chevalier says. We are delighted. Our yoga program was recently ranked #1 in the world. Oh, goodness, Mom says graciously to Patricia while glaring over at Ken/Neth. I actually haven't decided yet. I may want to spend time with my family instead, but thank you so very much for the invitation. Patricia Chevalier glances at Ken/Neth and raises one of her sculpted eyebrows. To be decided, Ken/Neth says awkwardly. Then Patricia Chevalier looks at Mom in a strange way. She cocks her head and narrows her eyes and presses her lips together as though she's trying to figure out something about Mom, like how much she weighs or how old she is or what makes her tick or something. Mom doesn't seem to notice, though. She's busy pulling a leaf or a bug or a crumb out of Rue's hair. Anyway, Patricia Chevalier gives Mom a radiant smile before turning to Ken/Neth and saying a bunch of words at him in Spanish. He listens hard. At the end of it, he says, Senorita Patricia, I'm afraid you lost me a ways back. Where exactly did I lose you? She says politely, as though Ken/Neth isn't irritating her. Well, Ken/Neth says, chipper as ever, frankly, I didn't catch much of it. I said that Dr. Wade will be ready to see you in 10 minutes, as you arrived somewhat earlier than the arranged time. Perhaps you would like to swing by the viewing balcony while you wait. She lifts one silver fingernail to point toward the balcony. The marble lobby is now blindingly white from the afternoon sun burning across the marble, pouring in from the open archways at the other end of the huge room. Thank you kindly, Ken/Neth says, not even a bit embarrassed that Patricia Chevalier had to repeat herself in English. Gracias. We'll check out the balcony. The kids will love it. I am sure they will, Patricia Chevalier says. Our Gold Circle Investors Gala dinner will take place in our outdoor dining area, which lies below the viewing balcony, so you can get a sense of what awaits you on Saturday evening. I'm sure you girls have a beautiful new dress to wear to the gala. Rue and I looked at each other. The dresses we bought for the gala, which seemed so amazing back in Denver, probably won't seem very amazing here. Yes, thank you, Mom says to Patricia Chevalier. Move along, she whispers to us as though we're in a church. I try to remember the way Mom looked so glamorous this morning, there on the lawn chair by the pool with her big hat and umbrella and drink. But now that I've been looking at Patricia Chevalier, it's very hard to picture. Ken/Neth leads us out to the lobby and into a white marble hallway that has numbered golden doors on the left-hand side and a bunch of open-air archways on the right-hand side, so you can see the grounds of La Lava. We follow him through an archway draped with honeysuckle onto the viewing balcony. Honeysuckle is a kind of plant that grows kind of in a vine, and it smells really good like honey. The balcony is a large white marble oval extending out from the side of the palace. Rue runs to the very tip of the oval and stands there sighing so loudly that I worry Patricia Chevalier will hear it and think we're all unsophisticated and know that they're right not to allow kids to stay here. So pretty, she says. So pretty. Sometimes I wish I could express myself the way Rue does. It's true. Seeing this place does make you want to go so. Oh my gosh, Rue says, pointing. Look, now Vivi's getting a red drink. I look down to see Vivi taking a drink off the tray held by the young man in white pajamas. She gestures him away with a rude flick of her hand, as though he's a mosquito or some other pesky thing, before sinking into a lounge chair to sip her dark red drink. Oops, sorry. Jeez, I really wish I hadn't seen that. I wanted to keep believing that Vivi is the kind of lady who's good to every single person she meets, no matter if it's a president or a waiter. She always seemed that way to me, plus all those charities she supports. Hey, Mad, see Vivi's red drink, Rue says. Uh-huh, I reply flatly. Oh my gosh, Rue sighs, craning her neck over the banister. I love her. Who knows if she's even nice, I say, which comes out sounding meaner than I meant it, but Rue is already on to the next thing. Hey, check out the outdoor dining room. Oh, wow. Look, all the chairs are gold and the tables have floating lily pads in the middle. I crane my neck over the banister like Rue and gaze at the tables glimmering with the crystal and silver and, yes, floating lily pads in glass bowls. Man, why are we staying here, Rue whines. I want to stay here. I thought La Lava was paying for our whole trip. Mom gives Rue her "you're being a brat" face. We've already discussed this, Ruby. You know kids can't stay here. Yeah, Rue says. But what's their problem with kids? You want to know what their problem with kids is, Mom says. Yes, Rue says, putting her hands on her hips. You really want to know? Uh-huh, Rue says, tossing her head. Kids are loud and lively and a tad bit crazy, Mom says. And when people are paying $30,000 a week, holy cow, to stay somewhere, they're buying utter and complete freedom from loud, lively, and a tad bit crazy, okay? In fact, you're lucky they even let you, your little tushy, on these grounds in the first place? $30,000 a week, I echo. Well, Rue harumphs, ignoring me. Can't we at least eat here tonight? Ken/Neth just stands there grinning, apparently finding all of this extremely amusing. Tonight we're going to get fried bananas at the Selva Cafe, Mom says, trying to make the silly old Selva Cafe sound like something special. I want to stay here, Rue mutters sadly into the marble banister. This place is for obnoxious rich people, I inform her. But the truth is, I agree with her 100%. More than 100%. La Lava Resort and Spa is my favorite place of the places I've been, which isn't that many, but still. Right then, Patricia Chevalier appears behind us, and I have a little freak out inside myself, hoping she didn't hear what I just said. This way, please, she says in her gorgeous voice, leading us off the viewing balcony, through the honeysuckle archway and down the long white marble hallway. Her stiletto heels, those are really high heels, make mini gunshot sounds on the marble. Once we get about halfway down the hallway, there are no more open archways. Instead, there are numbered golden doors on both sides. Two old ladies wearing sunglasses, lipstick, and silk robes come strolling toward us. Madame, Patricia Chevalier greets them, bowing slightly to each and saying a few words to them in what I think is French. But they look up at her in this weird, angry way, like they think she's a phony or something. Suddenly, I find my chin in the fingers of one of the madames, who has a tight grip like an eagle claw, and she's saying something in, I'm pretty sure, French, and showing me her big, bloody teeth. I guess it's... Oops, sorry. I guess, well, it's just, sorry, it's just the red lipstick. So her red lipstick was kind of like messed up her teeth to look like the teeth were red. I'm stuck there for a moment with my face in her hand, and then she lets go and continues onward. I'm going, huh? And looking back down the hallway after them when Mom, who speaks French, says, you should be honored, Mad. Those French women think you have great skin. She just said, this is the skin I want. This exact skin, and I can't wait another second. You know the French are the best judges of female beauty. Patricia Chevalier glances over at me. Is it just me, or are her eyes sort of cold? But her mouth is set in a brilliant smile. Youth, she says, right, Mrs. Flynn? Sylvia, please, Mom says, just Sylvia. Patricia Chevalier stops at the end of the white marble hallway. I wonder if Dad is behind the door to the left or the door to the right. My heart starts doing jumping jacks. My dad is so great. It has been so hard without him. But rather than opening either door, Patricia Chevalier looks up at this little device thingy on the ceiling, and the wall itself starts to slide away, making a gap just large enough for one person at a time to step through. Ruth squeals and yanks on my hand. A secret door? Secret doors are one of her top favorite things. Not that she's ever seen one in real life. Ken/Neth steps through first, followed by Patricia Chevalier. I peek around them to see what's on the other side of the wall. It's a small, windowless, white marble room. A man is sitting on a metal chair at a glass table, hunched over, holding his head in his hands. This man is much skinnier than Dad, and his hair is almost entirely gray. And he's wearing those white pajama type things that all the employees here wear. And I wonder when the heck we're going to be able to see Dad. Then the man looks up, and my heart trips over itself. That man is Dad. Ken! Dad cries out in this excited, desperate way, standing up from the chair and raising his arms, looking like he's about to leap across the room and hug Ken/Neth. Before I can figure out why Dad is so excited to see Ken/Neth, Patricia Chevalier steps in front of Ken/Neth, and the brightness drains from Dad's face, and his arms fall back down to his sides. He still hasn't seen us, since we were hidden behind Ken/Neth. And Patricia Chevalier in the dim, narrow opening, and it's driving Rue crazy, so she pushes through them and bombs her way across the room toward Dad. I'm stuck, just standing there watching Dad's face when he sees Rue. Nothing has ever upset me as much as this. When Dad sees Rue, his face fills with fury. I had no idea Dad could make a face like that. He's never in my entire life made a face like that. He doesn't open his arms to the hot little cannonball of Rue the way he always used to. Instead, she just crashes into his legs and stands there looking up at him. Dad, hello, she says. Then Dad, hi, we love you. He's staring at the doorway where Mom and I are stepping out from behind the others. Sylvia, Dad says, and his voice gets a little funny like he might cry. But when I look back at his face, it's still furious. Why are you here? It sounds more like an accusation than a question. Mom stares at him, shocked. Her tulip dress hanging limply. Excuse me, but didn't Ken/Neth say that Dad was very, very excited to see us? Yeah, this is creepy. And now Dad is acting like we've done some big, terrible thing coming here. Also, why did he call her Sylvia? Dad always calls Mom Via, as short for Sylvia. Via, as short for Sylvia. My road to good things, he used to like to say, because Via, I guess, meant road in Italian. Hug your wife, Patricia Chevalier says, her voice smooth and sweet. And I'm grateful that at least someone around here is trying to make this go the way it should. She came all this way to see you. Dad glances at Patricia Chevalier, who nods at him, and then he takes 5 mechanical steps towards Mom. She grabs hold of his waist and pulls him toward her and nuzzles into his chest. This is the way my parents hug whenever they see each other at the end of the day, and I've always liked to watch them because it makes everything seem safe and cozy and good. And for a second, I feel all those lovely feelings until I notice that this is just a weird version of that normal hug, because Dad isn't smiling down at Mom the way he usually would, and his face is still furious, and it starts to really freak me out. Mom pulls back just a bit and looks up at Dad. Jimbo, she whispers, her oldest nickname for him. What's going on? But Dad just shakes his head silently, maybe even sadly, as he gazes down at her. Mom lets go of him, and I can see that she's crying quietly, and it's awful. Inside, I'm going, what the heck? Maybe I didn't expect it to be perfect, but I sure didn't expect it to be this bad. This is so much worse than I could have ever imagined. Rue is still standing there where Dad left her, staring at his back and making little whimpering sounds. Noticing the noise, Dad turns around and walks over to her. He puts his hand on her head, the exact way he used to, but rather than smiling, Rue just looks worried. After a few seconds, she wriggles free from him and runs back across the room towards us. Madeline, Dad says, finally turning his attention to me. He never calls me Madeline. I wish he would call me Magpie. I wish a lot of things. Hi, Dad, I say. I feel weird. Hi, he says so softly I can barely hear it. I feel like I need to do something, say something to make all this seem less weird. It's really pretty here, I say, straining to sound normal. We missed you a ton. I guess those were the wrong things to say because Dad just stares down at me sadly, madly. Mom crosses the room to him. She puts her hands on his shoulders. Jimbo, she says again, her voice is very tender. Can we talk? Just the two of us for a little while? Patricia Chevalier clears her throat. Dad clears his throat. I'm sorry, Dad tells Mom, but things are extremely busy right now. A lot of very urgent work to do. It's absolutely essential that I get back to it immediately. Mom lets go of his shoulders. She's still crying, but now I can see that she's also angry. You are not this way, she practically hisses. You need to tell me what's going on. I'm sorry, Sylvia, Dad says. And he does sound sorry, but he ought to be calling her Via. Right then, the room is hit with a crazily loud sound, a huge whoosh of noise. A rock slide would sound like this, or an avalanche, or the end of the world, and I scream. What is that? Mom shouts. Can't turn the page fast enough. The monsoon, Ken yells. Every afternoon at 3:08, you could set your watch by it. And that makes me feel like we truly are on another planet. A planet where the weather tells the time? After that, no one says anything for a while. We just stand there in the white marble room in our 3 little clumps. Me and Rue, Mom and Dad, Patricia Chevalier and Ken/Neth, listening to the pounding rain. How can it be so loud? There aren't even any windows here. I suppose we should be going then, Patricia Chevalier screeches over the noise with a bright smile. Perhaps the Flynn Wade family can have another visit later on. Dad always used to call us the Flayed family. It tickled our funny bone to call ourselves the Flayeds. But right now, Dad doesn't say a thing. He just sinks back down into the metal chair. As I turn to leave, I know I'll never forget this. The sight of our father sitting in that metal chair, elbows on the glass table, holding his head in his hands, while the monsoon thunders all around him. Wow. Shoot, after not seeing your dad for 7 months, and that's the response you get? He's acting awfully strange, isn't he? This place is sounding kind of eerie to me now. Well, that's the end of chapter 3. Please write down your questions and your connections and your thoughts, and we'll talk about it on Friday, okay? Thanks, guys. It's a great story. See you soon.